So, cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, greetings. Welcome once again to Rasco and Disco Beer Review. This is me, Disco, coming at you live from the Disco Arms with, as per usual, one or two technical difficulties, which is irrelevant, and in being the subject matter I was going to talk about from the off, but I managed to mess up the introduction. See if I can do it again properly, shall we? No, evidently not. Damn YouTube adverts, I'm not paying for it. I'd all set up as well.
Hi, it's Matt. I have always wanted to know how beer is made, and lucky for me, Small Beer Brewery have invited me to have a go. Well, I thought this was going to pour a bit quicker. It's a slightly extended intro, but I've got to illustrate the point before we start, haven't I? Oh yeah. Now that's a good beer. Oh, easy. Oh, it smells like a beer cellar. That is so sweet.
Yes, indeed, that was an introduction by Matt Gray, and the reason for tonight's live. It was going to be a video, but due to my general ineptitude and inability to get videos out in the last couple of months, you might notice there's not been that many, although there's been quite a few lives. So welcome one and all back to the lives. As always, Mr. Wilson, thanks so much for popping in. This might not be one for you after we discussed this discussion we had last night, because I've got an unboxing video of sorts. In fact, it's actually a double unboxing video, because I got these two boxes in a few months ago, and I've already opened one and tried to do the video, but it's not really worked out. I'll show you why in a bit. It's from Small Beer over in southeast London, and this is the beer. It is a Kolsh, and yes, as the name suggests, a small beer, 2.4% ABV. Why am I drinking low alcohol stuff again? I had one last night. And that's why it's taken me so long to get this video out, because that's what happens. Tried to do this video 3 times, and that's happened each time. So a little bit concerned about this beer, but let's get it out into a glass and have a look anyway. The first time I did it, it didn't happen like that, and it's been sitting in my cold stash ever since. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. It shouldn't really top out like that. It was only a week in between as well. So yeah, put it into my glass that hasn't been cleaned up well, and I hate it when it happens as well. Like I say, all these technical difficulties. So yeah, very pale coloured beer, plenty of carbonation rising up the glass. Kolsh is one of the lager styles I don't know too much about, but we'll find out a little bit more about that, or I did learn some thanks to that video there from Matt Gray. Matt Gray, if you've not been around his particular area of YouTube, is a YouTuber of some standing, 80,000 followers. If you do recognise him, you might have seen him on Tom Scott's channel. He doesn't produce videos any longer in Tom Scott's channel. Used to go around doing loads of interesting stuff, slightly geeky, slightly nerdy. I'm neither, so I'm not sure which is which out of those two. But yes, produced some excellent videos, had a good production team behind him, of course, several million subscribers. But Matt Gray appeared with Tom Scott on some early videos, just general discussion, and he also does a series which Tom Scott now does called Technical Difficulties, where it's 4 of them get together and try a little quiz and have a general laugh. I'll show you more about that in a minute as well. But yeah, as part of like Tom Scott not doing videos, Matt Gray started doing more of those kind of QI style, like general interest videos of just trying random stuff. And one of those was going over to Small Beer to try brewing a beer, or at least help out brewing a beer. This beer is the result of that. So I followed Matt Gray, I thought I'd have a look at the beers, and whilst I was about it, around about the time I was thinking, well, maybe I should get around to having a look at some low alcohol beers. Now, bear in mind, this was several months ago. Head has dissipated on that pretty swiftly, but still plenty of carbonation in it. For a 2.4% beer, it still pretty well smells like a beer, like a brewery. To be fair, there's some maltiness there. Merest hint, maybe a little bit of citrus hop note, perhaps. Yeah, let's get it down. Cheers. Well, there we go. Let's try that again. It's got a bit of taste to it, but at 2.4%, it's sort of, I don't know, neither here nor there on a Kolsh, which I think is kind of the lightest of the German style lagers, isn't it? And I'm not sure about that one. I want something a bit more to that. It's not terrible. It would shandy well. Oh yeah, see, I'm all over the place. Not getting that starter way as I wanted. I am now absolutely all over the shop. I'm not even going to do a photo of this one. I've got an unboxing to do, so I've got some other beers in there, so we'll see what they're about. And I don't know why they came in 2 packs, really. I had to buy a 6-pack of this Kolsh because that was all that was on the website. And then I thought, well, I'll get a few more in, and I got like a kind of selection pack, and it came in 2 boxes, which I thought was a bit of a waste, especially as I got free delivery on the first order. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, tick up. Mind the cat. Yeah, the cat's in again. Reason for being a little bit late is more technical difficulties. Open the door. The cat come running up the path. I managed to broadside into the door, so she not dazed, but no, she's perfectly okay because she's a hard-nosed street cat. But she was a bit annoyed for a while. But then I put a plate of food out, and she's fine. And now she's got a nice warm lap. So yeah, yeah. So I'm not going to do a photograph for this one. It's difficult, Bear, and I don't know too much about the low alcohol beers. It's very similar, I guess, to that one I had last night, the Chiltern Brewery one. That was 1.9. This is 2.4. And I'm sort of like, I think David Wilson, you said yesterday, I'd rather just have a cup of tea. You know, I'd put some lemonade in that and just make it a really weak shandy, and that'll be fine because there's not a lot about it really. There's a certain kind of wheaty sort of raspiness, that kind of rough around the edges thing that I was talking about yesterday in entirely different context. But there we go. My layout's all wrong. Yeah, well, you know, you got to try these things. I've had a couple of small beers before. I can't remember which ones I had, but if I remember rightly, and David Wilson might be able to confirm this because I think you was there, I believe they was on the next door to us at Fuller's beer festival, the Seaver Beer Festival, a while back, and I was chatting to the girl on the bar, and we tried a couple of low beers, and they were perfectly okay. And like, obviously, you know, being on the bar all day, you need something maybe a little bit lighter, and they were perfectly kind of drinkable, to be fair. The Radler from Lidl would probably be cheaper and tastes okay. Okay, yeah. Well, yes, it probably would be actually, rather than just making my own Radler with a bit of lemonade. I'm sure it's them, and I'm sure they were next door. And funny enough, the other side was Werewolf, wasn't it? But yeah, so why am I drinking 2.4%? Well, it's all Matt Gray's fault. He didn't, as a slightly clickbait attempt to title suggests. He didn't make me do it. But yeah, I saw the video. Who is Matt Gray? Well, Matt Gray, let's see, is here over on YouTube. Matt Gray, 81,000 subscribers. Like I say, come across a lot from Tom Scott's videos. Still does videos over on the technical difficulties with Tom Scott. Does random stuff. Played with fireworks. Did some road painting, some line painting on the roads, but also does some fairly kind of geeky stuff. This one was pretty good. he made a good fucking adverts. Well, I can't show you that one, so yeah, electric scooter and some LED, some neon lighting. Makes loads of random stuff, does lots of random stuff like that. So when I saw the one about the brewing, obviously, I was kind of interested. And he did a good video on that. In fact, much more interesting and informative that I think I could have done, even being up at a brewery. I'm not going to show the whole video, obviously, because I'm not even sure if that's allowed.
My family loves to travel.
Just going to put up with it. Why is it when you rewind the video back that you've already watched the adverts on, it makes you watch the adverts again? Oh well, it pays the bills, I suppose. Doesn't pay my bills, but you know. Skip? Yes, definitely skip. You skip an advert, you'd think
Yes,
it's like,
is. Oh, it
you know
smells
what?
like a beer cellar. That is so sweet. This is Ben. Yes, it is. Ben is the brewer here at Small Beer Brewery, and he's the person who's going to be showing me the ropes today. Now, from the little bit I know about beer, it's something to do with grains, yeast, and waiting for fermenting to happen.
So yes, so grains, yeast, water, and hops.
Right. Oh yes, hops, because that makes it taste all tingly.
Yes, that's one way to put it. Certainly.
So, what ingredients are we going to be using today?
So today we will be using barley.
Yeah.
We'll be using a little bit of wheat, and we'll be using hops and yeast.
Great.
At various times in various combinations.
And what kind of beer are we making?
Today we'll be making a Kolsh.
A Kolsh?
Which is a German-style ale designed to replicate a lager.
Cool. So I like beer. I like different types of beer, and I generally prefer like the IPA kind of stuff to the lagery kind of stuff, and then you get the stouty kind of things. Now these are all beer,
yes,
which all have vaguely the same basic ingredients.
Yes.
How do you make them all different?
So if you're talking the difference between a stout and a lager, obviously a stout is much darker, and it's made darker by the use of much darker roasted malts. So, before the barley gets to here, and where I can use it, it goes through a process called malting,
right?
Which basically you take a barley seed and you trick it to think it's going to grow up to be a big, strong barley plant.
Yeah.
And then you kill it, and then you roast it, and the length of time at which you roast it determines how dark that malt is.
Right.
And the darker the malt is, the darker the beer will be. And so that makes then a stout if you're using lots of darker roasted malts.
Yeah.
And then say the difference between a lager and ale mostly comes down to the style of yeast you use. Different yeast will produce different chemicals, which make the beer taste different.
Great.
So that's where you have the lager yeast and the ale yeast.
Right. So you spoke about the processes that have happened before, like making beer takes time.
Yes.
We can't do the whole process today. What are we going to get to see and do?
So there's a famous phrase that says, brewers don't make beer.
Okay.
Brewers make wort. And so wort is the sugar water. And the yeast is the thing that makes the beer.
Okay, yeah.
So today we'll be doing the whole process of making the wort. We'll pitch the yeast.
Yeah.
And then the yeast will do its magic and make the beer happen.
And you come back later and then find the beer. Yeah. Great. Well, you can tell we're in a working factory from the noise in the background. So let's go stop. Where are we going next?
Are we going this way? So the first step is to sterilize the tank. This tank.
I'm not going to play the whole video because I'm not sure anybody wants to know about sterilization, but if you do, I'll leave a link. Hopefully, if I get it right. And it'll be up in that corner after the event. And it's a nice little marker so I can find it and put it on there. But yeah, I'll leave a link to the whole video there. And as I say, there's plenty to learn in that video. He obviously then goes on to show the machining and talking about the grains. I'm going to have to go back and watch it fully myself, actually, because I don't remember there being anything about how they actually make sure it goes to only 2.4% from that grain bill. So it's something I'm interested in. So I'm going to go and check that out later as well. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description as well. If you want to check that video out. I'm going to check out the rest of this order now, because it came a few months ago and I only got as far as opening that small box of the Kolsh, and it did that overtopped, so I got a bit annoyed and everything was a mess. I never actually got into doing a bit of the video. I could show you the video, couldn't I? I don't know if it would be amusing or not, or just annoy me. But yeah, anyway, I never actually got into opening this part of the box, and because it was so long ago, I'm not actually sure which of the beers I've got. I've got like a mixed pack, and I'm not entirely sure which one. Nicely packaged. There's some good. Oh, so much so. Yeah, some nice coasters in there. That's always good to see. And a bit of advertising. Whoa. This is something I completely forgot about. I've got a couple of glasses. Not massively clean, or is that just a bit of dust? A cloth would be nice. There we go. See, wasn't shit just work? All right. Well, let's finish that off, and we'll open the first one I get out here. I did have some other glasses out, but well, let's just pour the beer, see what we get. Do it one at a time, eh? First one up is a pale ale. Again, 2.5%. So let's open this up and see what happens. Well, that one behaves itself. There we go. Oh, similar amounts of carbonation racing up the glass. Nice straight glass. Can't quite fit all of it in a 330, so I'm not sure what size that glass is, but I'm not sure about the logo. Maybe he wants to sit in front of a beer with that, do they? But you go. There you go. Yeah, 2.5% pale ale. I've got doubles of all of these, so I might not do the photos today because I haven't got time tomorrow. I'm at work tomorrow, so I probably won't have time to put them up anyway. So let's worry about that another time, I think. This is just a straight up live video. And also means I don't disturb the cat. Bless her. Okay, so it just fits about in the glass with minimal head on it. Again, very, very pale. Noticeably different aroma, to be fair. It does have that kind of pale malt aroma, as you expect on a pale ale. 2.5%. Let's check it out, see what I can find. Cheers. Well, definitely a touch on the malt there. Definitely a touch more hoppier. Not massively hoppy. You just notice there's a hop there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. It goes without saying, like, but yeah. I think big, drink small. Ow, ow, cats. Put the magnifying glass away for safety reasons and completely forget to get it out again for the next one. But well, it's not been sitting around that long. It's still in date next year, so that's all good. No other information really. It says brewed sustainably in South London, small beer pale burst with mouth-wateringly juicy citrus, using only the finest hops and malted barley. Doesn't tell us which ones, mind. Is naturally low in alcohol and calories, so you can think big and drink small. Shiny can label doesn't look good on the camera either, does it? But there you go. Yeah, so fairly gentle on the hop, very light on the palate. Definitely, you can definitely notice it's a pale ale, and unlike some low or no alcohol beers, there's no wateriness to it, but it's just noticeably very low, very light. Yeah, so it's all right. Again, there's some lemonade on it. That's the other pale. So I've got pairs of these, so I won't put them all up. There's no need. There's a hazy pale ale. That's the other one I would have tried if it would come out. I was going to. Two of those. What else have we got? Oh, what was that one? It's 2.6. That one. There's a 2.5% lager. Again, I can't show it on the camera because that's shiny in the light. But yeah, all very similar. Don't mess about with beer names, which I respect. I like a good beer name, especially a silly pun or something. But yeah, not messing about with that. Just tell it like it is. Tell it what it is. It's a low alcohol beer. 2.5% on the stout. Not sure what else there is. That's the stout. What's the other one? Ah, an IPA. Again, two. That upset the purists. It's a 2.3% IPA, and they're still calling it an IPA. I had a massive discussion the other week with some camera folk about what an IPA was by percentage or whatever. But yeah, so 2.3% IPA. I'm not bothered either way, to be fair, as long as the beer tastes good. This tastes all right. Again, it's one I'd probably just shandy to get a bit more taste and flavour into it. If we're talking citrus and hops, I like my lemon more than anything else. And yeah, it's kind of okay. It's like, I mean, again, good lacing development on that, sticking down the glass. Cute kind of glass, I guess. I have to say it's not really for me, to be fair. It really isn't. I just don't sort of get anything from it, which is a bit of a shame because I was really enthusiastic with this beer. To at least give it a go. I thought it was a nice halfway house between a 0.5% that I probably wouldn't be bothering with at all. Like I said, I'd just have a cup of tea, definitely. I thought 2.5%, you want to try something different, maybe? It is a sort of beer that I could have in a stash just to like try and reduce a bit of drinking early on in the week. But my drinking days are all messed up, as you know, Monday and Tuesday. Like I say, I was knocking 10.5% yesterday. Shark, good evening. I thought I said fizzy beer drinker. Yeah, the beer is a bit fizzy and I'm a bit fuzzy, but it's winter now. It's cold, isn't it, man? Going out there, got to keep the face warm. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, good evening to you. I think it's a very unusual beer tonight, 2.5%. Mainly due to the enthusiasm of one Mr. Matt Gray. He once he had made, or the beers had made themselves, as he says. You don't make beer, they just make themselves. He put out this little short. Where did that go?
A month ago, I tried brewing beer here at Small Beer Brewery, and I'm back to taste what I did. Oh,
easy.
oh, it smells like a beer cellar. That is so sweet. And you can watch me making it on YouTube, of course. The proof is in the tasting. Oh, wow, that is so refreshing. Oh, that's really good.
So it's very floral and estery, infinitely crushable and perfectly crisp. The perfect middle ground between an ale and a lager.
And this is on sale in can on the Small Beer website. You can try the beer that I got in the way of making.
Well, yeah, that was about the Kolsh, the crushable, etc. I don't want to disagree with Matt Gray. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, for me, yeah, it was kind of drinkable. I wouldn't say massively crushable. I'd say it'd be all right. I guess these are stored cold out the fridge. It should be okay. I don't know, really. I'm sort of like a little bit not on the fence. It's not terrible. It's perfectly decent beer if you're in the mood or the mindset for a low alcohol beer. I say it's not wet and watery. There's definitely a bit of flavour, a bit of taste and maltiness, and this one a bit of hot character. But they do seem to sort of, I don't know, what's the difference? As he was saying earlier on that video, difference between a Kolsh and a pale ale. There's kind of smudges the margins a little bit, especially at that ABV. It's drinkable enough. I'm going back and trying it, and it's not. It's got a balance of, like I say, the malt and the hops. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know. I want a bit more, really. It kind of leaves you wanting more. So fair play to Small Beer for, well, I guess identifying that gap in the market, or that the fact that there's a lot of breweries doing low and no alcohol beers, so there must be a market for it, and obviously they seem to be doing it reasonably well. I'll check out the website in a bit and go back and remind myself on things like prices and see. I'm guessing, I would hope, the reduced price. I can't remember how much I paid for this in these days when I did it, and that was over the summer, and that was far too long ago, like I say, because I couldn't get the video out. I'll go on in for amusement. Let's see if I can do this. Is it on there? Oh, there we go. I don't really need any more beer, so I wasn't going to do this. I don't need to do this. Matt Gray made me do this. Which means it's time for another beer and unboxing video. This is unedited, by the way, so. Yes, Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles. Here again, in front of the bar, I what? This is the thing. This is like, I keep my. Yes, Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles. Here on the bar, what I'm still happily calling Disco Arms. And as I say, got an unboxing video for you. In fact, it's kind of a double unboxing video. I'm not entirely sure why. Placed an order over the weekend and it arrived in reasonably good time, but for some reason in 2 boxes. I'm sure that other box is big enough, but let's get a beer into the glass and I'll explain why I've ordered this particular beer and what it is. Nice little 6-pack in there. This beer is Farm Small Beer. Yes, indeed, small beer. It is a Kolsh, and it is, as you can possibly see on the can there, 2.4%. Let me get into glass and explain why I'm ordering 2.5% beer. As I say, this is a Kolsh. See, that one didn't overtop. Pours into the glass. Very pale, as you might expect. Lots of carbonation racing up the glass. It's a nice barrel straw. Yeah. I get to that point, the glass was, I don't know, hey, I don't know how, but all those bubbles sticking to the side just annoy me because they shouldn't be there. The beer should be beer clean. A little bit of a controversial one. A fully paid up, well, not paid up member to the beer dirty glass mafia. I think the glasses should be clean, especially when you're putting it like that. So yeah, I stopped it, and then I went back a week or so later and it overtopped, so I never did get that video up, and that was weeks ago, and that's why now I'm doing it as a live. But yeah, the reason I did it was basically that infectious enthusiasm there for Matt Gray for the product. Kind of I thought it'd be good to support what he's done and make a video based off of like that learning, that knowledge, that experience, and I say that enthusiasm. I'm slightly less enthusiastic about these beers now, but that's how it goes with beer reviewing, isn't it? You pick something, you think it'd be all great, and it's just okay. It's all right. I'm going to try the Stout. Yes, best bit about this is the outtakes and me nosing it up. At some point, as another video I haven't done, I was going to put all the outtakes together in a little outtake video in a blooper reel, and I haven't managed to do that yet. And I've got 4 other videos in the edit suite to get around to finishing off, and I keep doing. I know I've said something stupid, and I hate it when I say something stupid. I mean, I know it happens a lot. It's easily done, but yeah, things just don't work out for me sometimes. I'm all right with it. I get it. There's not like too much anxiety over it, or what it is. It's more annoyance at myself and my inability. It's not an annoyance at my inability to get stuff done. It's an annoyance at life. Like I said there, just like, why don't shit just work? You know what I mean? If I want to play YouTube, why can't it? Sometimes I play YouTube and the ad won't play, and I'm like, just don't play the ads. Like, just, you know. And you know what I mean? And the beer overtopping, and I'm like, why would it do that? It didn't do it on the first one. Why did it do it on the second, third, and fourth one? So I'm like, I get a bit despondent sometimes. So despondent, I can't even make an outtake video. But there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, once again, like yesterday, I'm not really selling this beer. I haven't got that infectious enthusiasm that Matt Gray had there. To make me like be just, I don't know. I don't think I generally don't think, despite him having a massive YouTube channel that and does a few sponsorships, although I don't think that one was apart from by Small Beer. Like, I think he comes across as fairly honest and genuine about stuff, which is kind of why I was like, oh, let's get the beer in. But I'm sort of like, I don't like being kind of like doing that acting stuff of going, oh, this is a great product, when I'm just like, man, it's all right. To be fair, he seems like, it's something that he has talked about, like in terms of mental health. You go, obviously, a lot of creatives on YouTube have that kind of swing kind of mentality from high to low, and kind of can be as down as they are up and hyper. A little bit of kind of ADHD related traits upon the autism spectrum, which is grand, but I think in the right context, that's great. You know what I mean? I'd love to go for a beer with Matt Gray, because I reckon he's got loads of interesting stuff to say, loads of stories, especially all the stuff he does like there, like I say, with Tom Scott and that. And on those videos, like the technical difficulties, they just have like an answer to a question, and they're just basically being funny. And again, I don't think it's scripted. I believe it's genuine, because all four of them now are genuinely funny guys. But yeah, there is, and I think he's the first to admit, it just generally is that. Sometimes some people say it's like a bit of a front, it's like attack is the best form of defense. So if you're up and excitable about everything, you don't get a chance to sit and stop and think about the down. You carry through, and I'm a little bit like that sometimes. I have these great ideas I think are great, and then sometimes I get so despondent when they don't quite work out as well as I want them to, especially on YouTube. So I can identify with him, to be fair. I see what he's saying. You see the t-shirt he was wearing, full of anxiety. Again, can kind of identify with that. But sometimes once the camera's on, you just have to go and get on with it in a way, which is probably why I've kind of done more in the way of live streams, certainly in the last 2 or 3 months, because I'll pick an idea, pick a theme. I know I don't script it. I know some of the things I want to say. I've actually got a list for this one. When me and Rasco used to do those Instagram lives, he insisted on having show notes, and it was relevant because we were doing, a lot of things putting in the show. He called it a show because he wanted to be more than just two people just chatting about beer and not really knowing where they were going and kind of doing it off the cuff. I don't mind doing it off the cuff, some of it, but I do like to have a little structure and a little theme to it. So it's kind of, again, the highs and the lows of creativity on YouTube. So again, maybe that's why I identify with it. That's why, I don't mind talking about it. I don't generally, but I don't mind. Some people will identify and agree, and some people will say, just crack on with it, man, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not down with that. Everybody has their own way of dealing with stuff. So yeah, now I've gone down. I'm generally much more happy and positive when I'm talking about beer. I'm happier doing the videos because I'll only generally do a video of something I think is going to. Generally, the reason I buy beers is I want to try that. It sounds good. Like I said yesterday, I had that one. That's that lime and mint sour with the blackberry, and I'm like, I didn't pick that because I think I'd like it. I put that because I thought it was going to be interesting, and it was perfectly palatable and drinkable. Again, I put the photos up on Instagram today and thought about it. I'm like, yeah, no, it's a fine beer. Maybe it wasn't quite my thing and a bit challenging, maybe testing, but I was happy to do it. But when you do lives like this, it's so easy to go from the high to the, oh, that beer's, all right. And there's one in front of me there, that one from Turning Point. I love Turning Point. See, obviously, the one yesterday was, I don't want to be negative about their beers, but just sort of being honest about it, just say what you see kind of thing. And I kind of got the same with these, really. I'm like, that's why I don't do a lot of like videos, because you get to a point and like I see people doing like another session IPA, another IPA, another pair, and to me it ends up being all the same. Like, yes, all right, but I run out of things to say. So I turn the camera off and just drink the beer and go to bed or whatever. Like, whereas lives, it's like you've got to keep saying stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep saying stuff and being positive and say, oh, this is brilliant. If it's not, it's just, if it's all right, it's all right, and that's also all right, I suppose. But yeah, that's a perfectly decent pale ale. Just a bit light, a bit low, and one I'm not sure about. Well, let's tell you what, because I normally do 3 beers. Let's finish off. So I kept my beer review live short. I don't know, the one yesterday went on a fair while, so I didn't get back to join, but yeah, phone call required. But yeah, I mean, I can waffle on with the best of them, but some people just seem to be able to go on and on and on. Well, thank you. Yeah, and everybody coming back is kind of why I kind of get the inspiration to keep doing them. That and the fact I've got all these beers in. Managed not to buy any beers this week yet. So I had a couple come in last week. So yeah, this is the stout, and as you know, I do love a stout. I have had 1 or 2 low alcohol stouts at 2.5% and 3%. If I remember right, Thornbridge did one that was actually, again, all right, but you still knew that it was a low alcohol stout. That's the thing. So yeah, great colour, nice and dark. Yeah, 2.5% on the stout. There's a sort of earthy kind. It's not really roasty, but there is something there, kind of that slight roast note, slight smoky note, I think, I would say. Oh yeah. I did go back and look at the brown ale one actually this afternoon. In between trying to get videos edited, yeah, there's a definite smoky note to that. That's weird. Anyway, cheers. Let's see what 2.5% stout is like. Okay, that's better. That is definitely better. It's fairly reminiscent of a 0% Guinness. I think I haven't ever had that 1 Guinness. I think. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like taste is definitely more roasty, but there is just a faint smokiness on the aroma, which is odd. Not unpleasant for my palate, for my nose, but yeah, interesting. Definitely picks out a little bit more roastiness. Again, a little bit smooth enough. Definitely light. I wouldn't say watery, but definitely light. A little bit of rough around the edges. A little bit of kind of very burnt sugar on the edge. Yeah, boy. Well, welcome along. Doing some low alcohol stuff today, Sammy. Which I guess, since I'm guessing you're at work and not able to drink, I'm closer to your current ABV than normal. Yeah, I was saying this earlier. I would quite like to know on the first one. Oh, sorry, the second one. Don't actually say. Small beer stout delivers a velvety drinking experience with rich roasted notes and hint of chocolate. Stout is naturally low in alcohol and calories, so you can drink with it. No, it just says ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. See, this is what I know, right? Got a big bit of white space at the end of that on the second line. Just put hops in brackets. Put the barley in the brackets. You've got the space there, man. and all that. I don't know. I think it's just like it's almost like free advertising, isn't it? To say what the more is. It's not like an industry secret. But yeah, that one, arguably the best of the bunch, although still fairly light. I'm on the water, so not close enough on the ABV. The Sammy's on a coffee, so practically the same ABV. Yeah, a slug of Bailey's in your coffee and you'd be beating me at 2.5%, but there you go. Do you know what? Because I had a 10% one last night, a 2.5% stout on that night before you go to work. It's not too bad. I could definitely have 1 or 2 of those. Happily, more happily than the light stuff. But it's just, I don't know, for me as a beer drinker, it's just not really hitting the mark as a beer. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I want that hit from my beer. I would rarely drive to the pub, but a few times I would have a shandy, and I can just go to the pub and have one beer. That's not a problem. But yeah, I can see the market for it. I can't see it for me particularly. It's not something I'm going to rush out and must get enough orderings just so I've got some light beers in the stash. I mean, a small beer want to send me some, then I'm grand, but I'll drink them. But yeah, I don't know. It's one I will, like I say, I've got the other doubles. I'll either do them as reviews on Instagram pics, or they would be just in the stash that I can, like I've got 2 of those Kolsh, so it's just like I can reach in and get a beer I don't have to think about, really. I'm interested to see the hazy, because I've been getting into, as Sammy will know, been getting into kind of hazy beers, like hazy pales and stuff, just because we've got a good one up the brewery, and I like trying that comparison, I suppose. But I'm on the 3rd hour of possibly a 12-hour day. Ouch. I can already feel the beer hitting the lips. Yeah, that's what drives you through. Think about the beer and the dollars. That'll get you through the day. Yeah, it depends how busy you are, I suppose. Sometimes at work it can be 12 hours a day for me, and like it goes it kind of goes slow because you've got a lot of waiting around in between. As your man was saying at the start on the video there, the brewer doesn't make the beer, the brewer just makes the wort and then lets the beer get on with it. But in between those two processes, if you actually watch that video, you'll see there is a bit of waiting around. And that's the thing about brewing. There's always something to do, something to fill that time. But yeah, it can drag a little bit in a way. I enjoy it though, so it's all right. It doesn't bother me, but yeah. So yeah, I'm going back for one. There's a reasonably good stout taste there. I was gonna say it's got that slight smokiness, slight roastiness. I'm not getting that much in the way of chocolate. It's a bit more coffee roasty, but there's a slight bit of chocolate, dark chocolate edge to it, I guess. Plenty on some very average stuff. I mean, you have to look at them quite closely and a lot, but yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, quite cute little glassware, I guess. I bet I can't find it, but I was going to show you the other outtake. Oh, here we go. Just for gits and shiggles. Which means it's time for another beer and unboxing video. Yes, Disco here with another beer and unboxing video from in front of the cans and bottles here at the bar, where I'm still eagerly calling the Disco Arms. In fact, it's a double unboxing video because I've got 2 boxes off the same order. I'm not entirely sure why, because I'm sure that one fits in there. This is a little 6-pack, and the reason for the video It's a little 6-pack, and the reason for the video. We get a beer out and explain what I'm doing. Ordering this beer, and Matt Gray made me do it. So as you can see, it's from a small beer. Nice little 6-pack of beers in there. And this one, I'll say the reason for the video, is a 2.4% Kolsh. Yes, I know. Me ordering 2.4% beer is indeed small beer, but let me explain why. First of all, who's Matt Gray, you might ask? Well, if you inhabit some of the corners of YouTube that I do, following Matt Gray for some years, he just put... Oh, I don't know what happened there. I've lost the rest of it. Oh no, didn't even add it in. See, that's what I mean. Why doesn't stuff just work? You know what I mean? I thought I had it over top, so you just have to trust me on that one. The brewery here to do Disco Ranger beers is just on a birthday code with track. You should try to get that. It'd be brilliant. Yeah, well, I haven't done the other track one yet, so I'll keep an eye out for that. Cheers for the heads up, Sammy. Yeah, work hard, work well. Hope it goes good. Catch you on the other side. Well, there we go. Small beer, small stream. Didn't go as well as I thought it would have, got to be honest. I practiced that this afternoon. I thought them transitions were much slicker. But you know, like I say, shit happens. Why doesn't stuff just work? But you have to work for it. The beers have been all right. Stout has been okay. Probably the best of the bunch. I'll save the others for another time, especially that hazy IPA, hazy pale, I'm not sure. Yeah, a very short Tuesday tipple for today for part 37 of the new live show. Thank you very much all for joining and putting up with my incompetence. We will see you again. I might do something tomorrow, I'm not sure, seeing what time I get out of work. So yeah, I'm sure you guys have all subscribed, and if you want to click like as well, that would be fantastic. Have a great rest of the Tuesday evening and the rest of the week. Have a good one. Cheers. I've been Disco and Rasco and Disco Beer Review. Cheers, and enjoy the beers, whatever percentage they are.